Yes, in the previous class, we have started discussing the standard, the three important files, that is the three redirection files. One is the standard input, standard output, and the standard errors. And also we discussed standard input is by default, it is connected to keyboard, output is connected to display, and the error also is connected to display. And also we have discussed 2 to 3 examples for standard input and standard output using the redirection symbols and also the terminals. And also in the standard error, we discussed what is this file descriptor, what are these numbers, why, where we have to use the number. If you don't use the numbers, the file descriptor number, you cannot redirect the standard error to another file. If a errors, if you want to store it in, write it into some other file, then you have to use this number. Directly, if you want to write it to the screen terminal, no need to mention any number. Directly, it will give the output like this, no such file or directory. If the same errors, if you want to write it to some other file, you have to use this number 2 greater than symbol, redirection symbol. And we discussed some of the commands where neither they use standard input or output. Some of they use standard output and excuse me, and use both the standard input and the output. The cat and the WC compare, all those commands will use both the standard input and the output. See here, the commands like this: bc calculation.txt, the result.txt. See, what happens is some arithmetic operations are there that is stored in the calculation.txt. I want the result of that particular content that will be done by this command bc, and I want to write the same output to the mellow.txt. With this command, you can achieve this, but here standard input file is required, standard output file is required. Both has been accessed by the shell using the single command. Next, when we started discussing about the pipes, see these pipes are all about saving our time, the execution time, and also uh, the number of files, intermediate files, what we create, that it is going to reduce. See here, who user.txt, who command output will be the number of users, the current users. The number of current users are 5 here. In this case, there are 5 users. In order to see that content cat user.txt, then you can see the output. To see the count, how many users are there, instead of manual counting, I'll use the WC word count. -L means the line numbers, user.txt. The input will get it from the user.txt. Then it will give you the count 5. Word count, -L means lines, -C means character. In the same way, for the number of words. The next thing is uh, the problem with that is number of commands execution is more, execution time it will take more, then the process execution it will be slow. You cannot execute the second command unless the first completes, and also intermediate files will be there. You have to delete at the end because there is of no use the intermediate files. In order to avoid that, we can use this command 1 and command 2 connected by the pipe symbol. The output of the one command will be piped as an input to the other command. Example is this: ls-l. The ls-l, it is going to list the number of files which are present in the current directory. But I want the count. I want the count. For that, I want to execute once again. I want wc-l, the number of lines. For that, what I should do, ls-l, redirect to one more file, then give that file as an input to the wc-l. Instead of that, what I'll do, I'll concat this ls-l pipe symbol wc-l. It will displace the number of files in the current directory, because everything, all the files, it will display in each line. That line count, if you will get the number of files. In the same way, this one, the number of currently logged in users who special the pipe symbol wc-l. This is the advantage of this pipe symbol. Say this one, it is going to the standard output. It is going to give the standard output. That standard output will be called by the standard input file. See, both are going to be used used in this case when during the command execution. This command execution, the second command, it cannot be faster than the first one. This balance, the control of flow of the standard input and the standard output stream should be balanced. That balance will be built-in mechanism is there in that built-in mechanism is already be there inside the pipe. We no need to worry about that. The appropriate driver will readjust the flow. The command from the left of the pipe symbol must be always, it is going to use the standard output because it will give some output. One on the right will use the standard input. One on the right must use the standard input because it is going to receive the input from the first command. This is all about the pipes. Next, we'll go for this basic and extended regular expression. See, first thing, before we go to this regular expression, there is one more is there. We are going to search for the specific pattern. We are interested in some of the things. For that, we have to search. We are going to search in the internet. We are going to search in our computer, in our drive, in our folder, in our document, in our mobile. Everywhere we are going to search. But we don't know the exact the name of that file. We might have forgot the name also, but we know half of the we may know half of the file or half of the file name, or we may know just the first, the starting name or the ending name. If we know those patterns, that we'll enter, and based on that we'll search. We have seen this control F and control R in our so many softwares, right? That we are talking about. See here, the grep command searching for the pattern. See, in order to search for a pattern in a document, we use the command called grep. The grep is what it contains is there will be a separate options arguments, what you are going to search, what is that pattern, where you are going to search, whether it is a single file or the multiple files. That is why here it is a file name. This is the normal syntax of the grep command. It is optional. It is a optional parameter options. Grep will be mandatorily you have to write this command. What is the pattern you are going to search in the file? How many files? Whether it is a single file or multiple files. We'll see the example now. See the grep command. I'll log into the system root. See how exactly it works is, see the grep command search for this pattern. What is the pattern? Sales. Sales is the word it is going to search. Where it is going to search? It is going to search in the one file. The file name is employee.lst. Employee emp.lst. I have a file name that is emp.lst. Inside that, where the employees who are belongs to the sales department, The employees who are belong to the sales department, I want the list. Then I'll get those many employees. Shukla, the Chanchal, Dasgupta, Agarwal. These four employees, they are from the sales department. How the grep is going to search? It is going to search for the pattern called sales in each line, where in each line, if the sales word is there, it is going to get that line. It is go to the next line. If the sales is there, get that line. And it will throw to the standard output, that is a default terminal. I'll go inside the root home. I have one file called CHAP. I'm going to search. I'll show what is there inside the CHAP file. Where is CHAP? I think CHAP is inside a folder called dir directory OCT1. Inside that there is a folder called CHAP. Sorry. CHAP is there. Now I'm going to copy this all. Five times I have copied. Means in this file, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times all is there. In this entire content, all it is there in 5 lines. Now I don't know how many times the all is there. Now what I'll do is grep command. What is the pattern I'm going to search? Within the double quotes, I'll enter all. Then, which is the file chap1, enter. Okay, why it is giving the error is because that file, it is not there inside that directory root home. It is inside the directory October 01. Now I'll execute that command. See, 5 lines, all operating system, second line, third, fourth, fifth. 5 times it is there in that particular file. It has searched for the word. I should not use the name word. It is search for the pattern called all inside this chapter 1 file, and it has written you those lines. The entire line it is going to bring. See here, this line, all operating system from executing till all, then references to all, this line, 6th line, then and concepts, this line, 9th line, and also last, the services till all. You can search for any pattern. Example, system. If it is going to search for the system, we'll check how many times the system is there. System is there in this line. Yes. System is there in this line. The system is there in this line. The 3 times the system is there inside that the content. See, this command, it is without the options, arguments. I have not put any arguments here, directly grep pattern file names. It is not always a single file name you have to give. I'll include one more file. See, inside the chapter 2, okay, some of the content is there. Inside the chapter 2, at 4th line, environment is there. In chapter 1, environment is there at the 11th line. We'll check now. Environment in chapter 1 and chapter CHAP chapter 2. These are the 2 files I'm going to search now. See, with the file name, it is going to print in the chap 1 environment, in the chap 2 environment and environment. 2 times it is there in the CHAP2 and 1 time in CHAP1. You're going to get the count like this. With, if you want with the line numbers, how many count, all the other features that you have to specify in the command itself. This is a straightforward command without any options that we'll discuss with the options now. This is how it is going to search the content or for the pattern inside the file. Now I'll clear the screen. Now we'll explore the some of the options. Now we'll explore some of the options. Then we'll see the line numbers and also how many files, everything in detail. In this chapter, this is also an important topic from the exam point of view or from the test. Please look into this topic multiple times. Grep command. See, you have seen this grep command with the double quotes. What is going to happen if I remove the double quotes? Once again, it is going to print. It is going to print the content. It is not mandatory you have to use the double quotes. But when you have to use the double quotes is if there are multiple patterns with the spaces are there. If the pattern contains space means then you have to use the double quotes. If two words are there, example, see, instead of searching for environment, if you are searching for the environment, the environment in this file, then you have to use the double quotes. Then you have to use the double quotes. If there are multiple words in the pattern place, the second option, second argument, first one is the command. The next slot will be for the pattern. If there are multiple words, then with the space in between, then you have to use the double quotes. What we suggest is every time it is better to use the double quotes in for the pattern, and always the file names, the number of file names when you give, as usual you will give the space for the file names. The next thing is, if the pattern is not there, what it is going to give? If some nonsense if I have given wherever th is there, at so many places th is there, I'll write some word which is not there. Unix. See, it is not going to give you any output. It indicates that pattern is not found. The next thing is, we'll discuss with the some of the options. First thing is grep command with a single file name. Grep command pattern that have enclosed within the double quotes and without the double quotes. Then I have shown you the grep command with the more file names, but more than one file. See here, more than one file. The next thing we'll discuss with the options, the grep command with the options. See, if it is a case sensitive, that is the main thing. See here, environment, it is in the lower case. If I give in the upper case, whether it will give me the output, that is the question. In the double quotes, have given capital environment. Whether it will give you the outputs? No, because the grep command, it is case sensitive. If you give in the lower case, it will search for the lower case itself. If you give in the upper case, it will search for the upper case. Now, if you want to ignore the case, even it can be in the lower case or it can be in the upper case, it has to search means you have to add -i. Hyphen I indicates ignore the uppercase or lowercase. Clear? The next option is after I ignore the case for matching, then we'll discuss one by one with the example. Hyphen V. See here, see the hyphen V, what it is going to do is, it is going to print you the lines, print all the lines where this environment is not there. It is going to exclude the line, it is going to exclude the line which contains environment, it is going to exclude that, and all the remaining content it is going to include. See, environment is there, but it is in the lower case. I'll make it smaller. See now, oh sorry, I have to make it as V. See, these many lines are there where environment word is not there. Environment is not there. The file names are chapter 1 and chapter 2. This is what the hyphen V. What a hyphen V option will do is, it is going to select the lines except this contains the pattern. If the pattern, if it is there in that line, it is going to leave. Remaining, it is going to take you to the output. That is what hyphen V is all about. If you want to display the line numbers with that, if you want to display the line numbers, see there, the line number is 11. Line number is, I'll give one by one. If it is two files, it will be confusing. Line number in the CHAP1, line number 11. For that, you have to use hyphen N. Hyphen N you have to use. See, if I add hyphen V and N, both the commands, hyphen V and N, if I add, what will happen is, it is going to exclude the pattern which is there in that line, and remaining lines it is going to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11th line, in the 11th line, the environment is there. In the chapter 2, second line is not there, fourth line, it contains environment. See, chapter 1, 11th line. 11th line is missing here. Chapter 2, second line, fourth is missing. This second and fourth is here. The grep command hyphen N, the grep command with the hyphen VN. You can add this. See, it is not always hyphen N, hyphen V, hyphen I you have to use separately. The options, it is not mandatory you have to use it separately. You can directly concat those like this, hyphen hyphen IVN, like that you can concatenate. Just now I done right like this, hyphen VN. In that way you can concatenate. Three options we discussed. One is to display the line number hyphen N, to ignore the case, it is hyphen I, and to exclude the lines which contains the pattern hyphen V. The next thing is, I want the count. If I want the count of the lines which contains pattern, I'm not worried about the entire line. I want just the count. If I want the count, there is an option, it is minus C. In the chapter 1, one time environment is there. In the chapter 2, two times environment is there. That is the meaning of this. In the chapter 1, colon 1 means one time environment pattern it is there in the chapter 1, and in the chapter 2, two times. That is the meaning of hyphen C. C means it is going to give you the count of the pattern. The environment, how many times it is there? In the chapter 1, there is no count. In the chapter 2, once the environment pattern is there. That is the meaning of this hyphen C. There is one more command where you can display the file names, display the file names where which contains that pattern. But what we'll do is, in that case, I'll not mention the file names, I'll just mention the star. What I'll do is, see, hyphen L will give you the file names, but it has to search all the files with starting with chap star. It is there only in the chap2. Just search the environment. It is there in chap1, chap1 tilde symbol, chap2, temporary file. In these three files, environment is there. Hyphen I, ignore the case. Hyphen V, exclude the pattern. Hyphen N, to display the line number. Hyphen C will give you the count of the pattern which is present in the file names, and the hyphen L will give you the list of file names where pattern contains. See, if you are matching multiple patterns now, there are two words. It was a single pattern, but there are two words in that pattern. Now what I am searching is multiple pattern in a single file or multiple files. In that case, you have to use hyphen E option. See, now I am going to search for the word introduction and also environment. Two patterns I am going to search. Hyphen E, one is environment, hyphen E, introduction. In the file chap1, yes, it is there. See the lines, one is in the introduction here and the another one is environment. If you want to search for the multiple patterns, you have to use hyphen E. Remember, option hyphen E you have to use for the multiple patterns. You can add the number of files after that, but what is the thing is you have to multiple times you have to mention this hyphen E. That is the main thing. Hyphen E, multiple times you have to write for each pattern. Taking the pattern from the file, instead of the pattern instead of pattern directly mentioning it in the command, what I'll do is, 1 minute. This pattern, it is not always, it should be in the command itself. What I'll do is, all the patterns which I want to search, that pattern will be inside the file itself. It will be there inside the file. From there, it has to take that pattern and then it has to search. Example is like this. What I'll do is, I'll open one file, new file. The file name is pattern. sorry, I'll save it. The file name is pattern.txt. In that, which are the, so it has to search the words it is going to search is environment, introduction, and it has to search all. Three words it has to search. There are three patterns. Now, command -f. -f indicates now the pattern it is there in the file. Then what is the file I'm going to search? Pattern.txt. Then from where it has to search? chap1. Pattern it is not there. We'll check now. File save as. We'll save inside the we'll browse. We'll save it root inside the directory. We'll save. Okay, now it has searched for the lines. See, it has searched all, then introduction, then environment. In that line itself, all is there. All the patterns, it is there from the file. In that case, you have to give the option -f. In all these cases, what was the thing is we already know the complete pattern. We know the complete pattern what we are going to search. If we don't know the complete pattern, what is the next thing that we have to discuss? If we know the pattern, it can be in the command or it can be in the file. You can write the pattern. But if I don't know the complete pattern, but I want to search, in that case, I'm going to use regular expression. This regular expression we'll use to search, where what we are going to use is, we already know the wildcards, right? Star, dot, question mark. Those things we are going to use in case of the patterns. In the pattern field, we are going to include this regular expression and we are going to search the file with the same command grep. Grep command we'll use with the regular expression in the with the pattern. In place of the pattern, we'll include these regular expressions and then we are going to search. That we are going to discuss in the next class, the basic regular expression and the extended regular expression. There are some 6 to 7 regular expressions are there. We'll discuss this basic and extended regular expression and we'll end the tomorrow's class, and till there it will be there for your test. If I have sent the attendance, you can exit. Thank you.